So I've talked to reporters, right? Like publicly. And I've always had to choose my words very, very carefully because I don't want to say anything I don't stand behind, obviously. So I used to talk to people. I used to glaze Jimmy publicly for things I do genuinely think are true. But then it's like, well, how come you didn't talk about the working conditions? Well, I wanted a career. I didn't want to, speak ill of YouTube's golden boy and then I'm blacklisted forever. I tell people I was talking to you, and they go, "Don't, what are you doing? You're going to kill your career." It's like, I have to or I'll be sad. If this is the moment, we're going to talk about it. So as far as that, that's my covering up of why we didn't talk about XYZ sooner, but now you know.
Isn't it sad that a lot of people were so afraid for the longest time to criticize Mr. Beast in any way, shape, or form, aside from Sunny V2? Shout out to him. He was the YouTuber like over a year ago who said that Chris Tyson will be a problem for Mr. Beast, which completely came out to be true. Chris Tyson's a whole ass weirdo, not because he's trans, but because the weird ass conversations he had with minors and his kinks and the things he was doing with his son and him leaving his wife and everything else. Like the Chris thing, and now apparently Mr. Beast hiring an alleged sex offender to work for him with his full-blown knowledge. I am not surprised that Mr. Beast is finally being torn down and that Sunny V2 has been vindicated. Like, that guy was right. He was a prophet.
What would you say is the fakest video that you worked on while you were there?
Fakest video that I worked on while I was there. This is the extent of the fakeness that I was involved to. This is admitting to my complicity. I was a writer there. He wanted to do a prank where, unbeknownst to the person, he takes a rock, crushes their car, and they're supposed to think a rock came out of space.
We're gonna take a meteor and we're gonna put it on Weddle's car. We're gonna take another meteor and put it on Marcus's car. Both of them have no idea that we're doing this. Weddle and Marcus are probably shocked. They had no idea.
And so that was the one and only time I had to, my car? What? And on the fly, I saw him, because Marcus was in that video. So Marcus is calling his mom. Marcus genuinely had no idea. He genuinely had no idea. So I had to text my mom, who had to beg to get the title very quickly. Now I'm texting my mom, I go, "Mom, I'm about to call you about the meteor thing. You have no idea? Be surprised." And then I hit send, and then they go, "Call your mom now." And I call my mom and I tell her, and she should have got the Oscar. Oh my God, on the fly, she goes, "What? I'm on vacation." Mom, my car has been destroyed.
Wait, what?
A meteor hit it.
Jacob, I'm on vacation. Do you understand?
Yo, isn't it crazy how for the longest time the entire YouTube community has shat on people like FoozyTube and Vitaly, Human TV, Roman Atwood, and all those other fake ass, scripted ass channels back then, like Prank vs. Prank with Jesse and his former wife. That was epic. Kobe Person, all these other guys that were accused of faking and scripting their content, legitimately either getting demonetized, their channels deleted, or just flat out hated by the entire community. But here you have the largest channel on YouTube that everybody is supposedly in love with, technically being the biggest scripted prank channel in the world, and nobody bats an eye.
Something ain't right.
Doesn't that just like blow people's mind? Like, rules for thee but not for me, selective outrage.
Yeah, I did that video, and they're supposed to give me 10K to put a down payment on a new car, and they wanted me to get like a big flashy new car. 10K was supposed to be a down payment, and I can't afford a big flashy new car because I work at Mr. Beast. So I couldn't get anything I couldn't afford the taxes on. I couldn't get anything I couldn't afford the insurance on. So I do my part of the video, and I get a mom van that I could afford. And Jimmy was like, "Why didn't you get a cooler car?" I was like, I can't afford that, bro. Come on, what are you talking about? If I was working on a TV show in the 90s, on a show that was a quarter as successful, I could retire today. But now I make dog shit pay, making gajillionaires more money. And I just walked into the writer's room, and that's one of the reasons why I left, was because I just walked in there and asked for not necessarily a gajillion dollars, but maybe a salary that was more proportional to the work I was doing, given how much revenue that work was doing.
Mind you, by the way, guys, because I did the calculations the other day while I was watching a stream from Academics, and you won't believe this. With all the ad revenue from YouTube, Google AdSense, sponsorships, from all his companies, this man, Mr. Beast, is making somewhere between $1 million to $2 million a day of everything he's making from all his companies and YouTube and everything else. And here you had a scriptwriter for his company who wanted a decent pay, a decent salary, so he could afford a $10,000 car, and Mr. Beast wouldn't even do. See, this is the thing that never made sense to me. If you're making that amount of money, why don't you just pay your guys fairly or pay them a rate that they're comfortable with?
And then, I talked about that, and I talked about the Writers Guild and how this is what the Writers Guild industry standard is for streaming internet content with ads. I thought that was the closest thing to YouTube, and I didn't even bring up residuals, because oh my God, if I got residuals for every video I worked on, boy howdy, I could retire. But the other thing I talked about was there was another writer there, older comic, black guy. He had a kid, And I got paid more than him, and I thought that was wild because he was older than me, had a child. We're doing the exact same job, and I'm some 20-year-old fuckhead white guy. Why am I getting paid more than him? I brought that up.
Ooh. So now we have allegations of potential discrimination on Mr. Beast's team. Buddy just admitted he did the same work as an older black man with a child, a father of one. The same exact work, I assume. The same amount of energy and output. And Buddy over here was getting paid more. Oh no, Mr. Beast. How could you?
I feel really guilty about the way this shook out. Yeah, I was talking to this other writer. It's fucked up, that's how the pay is, and I want you to get paid more, because you deserve to get paid more. I don't have a kid. And he didn't want to rock the boat. He desperately didn't want to rock the boat. He's just, I like my job. I like, because when you grow up with, nothing, not to say that he did, but I know I did, You get a little something, you don't want to lose it. So he didn't want to rock the boat. But he said, hey man, if that's how you feel, if that's I trust you. He stood with me. He went to that meeting with me. And I said my piece, and he backed me up. And I said, I need XYZ or I'm out of here. And they said, bet. And they gave me a severance check the next day. And they gave him a severance check the next day. And if I knew he was going to lose his job too, I wouldn't have done it.
Now, if this isn't about one of the saddest things I've seen this entire year coming from a YouTube creator, ex-employee of a YouTuber, Buddy went into Mr. Beast's office to demand a more fair and balanced pay on behalf of himself and I suppose the other guy he was talking to who didn't want to rock the boat. He immediately got fired with a severance package along with the other guy. And mind you, this is coming from a person, a guy, a team, a corporation that makes over $1 million per day. Probably closer to $2 million now that they seem to be getting even more popular. I don't know. How is that even possible? Guess with all the drama recently. And this man starts crying. Understandably, it's crazy. And obviously you could see he's emotional because the other guy, he came from nothing. He likely needed this job to sustain himself or his parents or maybe his family members, younger siblings, older anybody, right? So this was a huge opportunity for him. And the fact that he tried to do the right thing and it backfired, bro, has to feel horrible.
Yeah. How many Orbeez can I fit up my asshole every day?
Whoa. That came out of nowhere. All right, let's continue though.
Do you think Jimmy really enjoys doing good and helping people?
I think Jimmy wants to be the best YouTuber. I think he is laser focused on one goal. And I think whatever he has to do to achieve that goal, he'll do. And I think it was the smartest decision for him that he calculated, because he's very good with numbers. If I donate to charity, people can't say I'm shitty. If I give this homeless guy 10K, what do you mean I'm a bad guy? But I've always thought, if you're gonna do something nice for somebody, and you stick a camera in their face while you do it, you didn't do a nice thing for somebody. You gained something. There was a homeless guy on the street, and you saw an opportunity for yourself and your image, and you gave one guy $10,000 who needed it to eat, and now the revenue you generated from that video is way more than what you gave.
Oh yeah, he's definitely spot on, and I've had introspective ass thoughts about why I do the things I do when I am charitable to other people or hand out money or whatever to a disenfranchised person who, needs something to eat, drink, maybe can't afford basic necessities. And I've often thought about it, am I doing this because I'm a good person or I want to feed my ego, or what am I doing this for? And I've come to the conclusion that most people, especially YouTubers, only do these videos because they're profitable and they want to come off as a good person. It's all ego, it's all pride, it's all that pseudo moralistic, I'm a good person, look at me handing out money. That's what good people do, right? And to be quite frankly, I find it disgusting. Listen, man, if I'm out here handing out money, helping people who need help, I'm not doing it for me. I'm not doing it because I want to profit from it. Oftentimes, I'm annoyed because in my head, listen, I don't want to keep having to do the job that social services or the government or the city should be doing. But because I understand what that person may be going through and because I've been there before in my life, although I'm annoyed, I feel as though that sometimes I have an obligation to maybe help somebody who could be on the verge of starvation, dehydration, death, may have diabetes and has low blood sugar and can't move. I'm not doing it because of me. I don't care about my ego. I don't care about pride. I care about maybe chipping a little in to help my community, to help somebody who needs it. I've never filmed, never uploaded anything remotely about this. I never made content off of it, even though I could have. And I believe that's what separates me from people like Mr. Beast. I'm not doing this shit because of theatrics and to make a YouTube video. I'm doing it because maybe one day, God forbid, if I'm down bad, all this goes away and I'm on my knees, the energy I put out in the past may possibly come around one day in the form of good karma and help me out unexpectedly when I need it too.
So after your severance checks, how was your relationship with the company? I know you appeared in videos after that, right?
Right. So in videos where I was appearing in later, that's why you keep nice publicly. If you're nice in public, hey, Jake was nice in public. Let's have him back for something. You know? Yeah, sure. So I was hoping they call back. You know, and I appeared in some videos after I left. I think one of them was 3 days in a maximum security prison. If I did do mini challenges in that, I got paid. I was clocked in with a rate, and I would get paid and compensated for those. But there was one video I was in. I got paid a lot for it, but it didn't come out. It didn't come out because it didn't go well. There was a video that came out probably like a year ago, something like that. It got a lot of hot water when it came out. It was the surviving like $10,000 every day you survive in solitary, or surviving solitary for whatever. It was one of those solitary confinement videos that got a lot of media attention because everybody saw the premise and thought, what? You shouldn't do that. And people don't know that was the second attempt. The first attempt was on me, and it didn't go well.
Jesus Christ, you can see this man is traumatized. What the fuck? He's saying that was the second attempt and the first attempt was on him and it was never released. So clearly it's been stashed away, locked behind steel brick vault to never see the day of light. Like, I want to see that footage now. Somebody, some crazy ass guy, please go break into Mr. Beast's headquarters. I'm not promoting any crap shit. And if you could do the world a favor and leak that footage, that would be kind of cool. I mean, the way this man was looking down in front of the camera while trying to think about what he went through with the first attempt, which could have lasted a couple days to a couple weeks, was horrifying. I mean, Jesus Christ. Not only on top of potentially getting slave wages for the amount of money being generated per video, but on top of that, having to do crazy ass challenges that could put your well-being and health in danger. My God.
Yeah, I was able to take some breaks, and I asked him, how long do I have? He goes, until I get back. And I'm running until 3 a.m. I got off the treadmill. Oh, the blisters I had on my feet were like, you wouldn't believe, just all over, just these big red. I couldn't walk. My muscles were like just the lactic acid. I got off the treadmill, and then the people that came in to like ice my feet, make sure I was good. Then that's when I was like, I'm done. I can't. I'm done. I'm out. I'm out. And that's when I get the psych in, and I talk to the psych about how I'm not well. And like I said, there was a lot of good people over there that was saying, you got to pull him out. Yeah, I had friends that did some freelance work, and they would tell me, they'd be like, yeah, everyone knows you over there, everybody loves you. They go, oh, Jake Weddle, love that guy. Shame what happened to him. Like I'm a ghost. And I asked him, I said, how much longer are you guys going to keep me in here? And the guy goes, realistically, like at least 7 more days? No. And they didn't let me leave right away either. They wanted to make sure, everything was fine. So I just, slept for a while. They turned the lights off. And it's like they brought in all my friends, to make it.
Jesus Christ. Yo, I'm still in shock that Mr. Beast thought this was a good idea. Like, holy fuck. Mans has literally been on the verge of crying his eyes out 4 times, like in this video. Mans is clearly traumatized, bro. Unless he's a good ass actor, bro. I genuinely think this affected him. I genuinely think this was a dark time in his life. Holy shit. And apparently Mr. Beast has yet to make a statement about this. Neither has YouTube. Isn't it funny how if this were any other channel remotely smaller than Mr. Beast's, say a channel with 1, 2, 3, 4 mil subs doing this type of shit, bro, they would have been out of here, bro. Holy shit. And then as he said, if some of you heard, they coerced him into running some type of marathon after this specific video was supposed to be done. Like, dog, these are the dynamics of our economy with people like Mr. Beast and people under coercion like this guy right here that makes aspects of capitalism look bad. Listen, I'm all for capitalism, using money to get what you want, fair trade, free market, but this right here is just downright disgusting. And it's funny because that's how Mr. Beast made his come up, by, and I hope they weren't fake, donating thousands of dollars to Twitch streamers many years ago, got his name out there, recorded the videos of him donating that stuff, and seeing people's reactions reactions to receiving thousands of dollars randomly while they were streaming, right? But now years later, Mr. Beast is 100 times bigger than he ever was. And you have stories like this coming out where ex-employees are literally crying on screen, probably embarrassed too to do this in front of millions of people. And Mr. Beast has yet to make a statement. Crazy, man.
And haven't been back on a Beast set in any official capacity or unofficial capacity since then. Did not get the 300K. What I got, he goes, think of it this way. At least you get to keep what you earned. You know, you were in there for XYZ days. You did XYZ challenges, so you got, you know, 100,000 some change, you know, give or take. You know how much money I spent in taxes in 2021? I spent $44,000 in taxes alone. And now I spent all that money on doing stand-up. I bought plane tickets to go do comedy festivals. You know, my family back home, I gave them a bunch of stuff that they needed. And haven't been back on a Beast set in any official capacity or unofficial capacity since then. And then they did the video with somebody else, and they worked out the kinks. And then I'd still gotten some hot water, and I knew it would. And I've wanted to say a lot of this for a long, long, long time. And I feel good now. I just had to get that off there.
Well, looks like this man had the opportunity to vent everything he wanted to vent for the first time in a very long time. And holy shit, what I have to say now is the fact that I will never do anything like Mr. Beast does for content. I never have. And I'm pretty sure if I did, YouTube would fucking terminate me. Let's be honest, man. I find it hard to believe that with the amount of strikes and demonetizations and community guideline violations YouTube has handed out to me, that they would ever let me get away with such heinous acts just in the name of uploading content to their website. They barely even let me curse on their platform, much less do extreme ass content like this that could potentially get somebody seriously hurt. Anyway though, let me know your thoughts and opinions down below. This is just sick behavior. Mr. Beast, holy shit. Hopefully he comes out with a statement soon, but do let me know your thoughts and opinions down below. Like the video, of course, comment down below, sub to the channel if you're new, turn on noties, and everybody, until next time, stay safe out there.